as I can't work technology, obviously.
No, that was pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know half the time what I'm doing.
That was pretty good. That was the fastest probably person that came for a live that connected so fast.
No way. I'm never ever that good. I'm like trying to figure out half the time what's going on.
So hello and welcome. Thank you so much.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. There's sun today in the UK, so I am perfect.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you have a long weekend too? Like we have tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had to work on yesterday, so it doesn't really count for me because it's Sunday and Monday, so it would be like a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would like you to start by introducing yourself and telling us your story and what we're gonna talk about, if that's okay with you.
Yes. Hang on 1 second. I'm messing this thing up.
Take your time. Make yourself comfortable. It's.
I don't know why. Yeah, my keyboard came up, and I'm like, why is this up here? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So, hi. I'm Megan. I have a rare form of dwarfism called Metatropic Dysplasia, and it affects only about 100 people in the world, which is really crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Considering how many people are in this world, and it is crazy.
It is crazy, and to think about like all the people, like you said, and then you just happen to have this rare form of dwarfism that my parents found out only after I was born, which is even crazier. They just thought it could have been because I have a twin sister, so they thought it could have been the twin transfusion, but it wasn't. So just happened that it.
Yeah. So your twin sister doesn't have it.
No, she doesn't. She's unaffected. Okay. So okay. She's at average height, everything. But because my mom's a nurse, she read all the literature about everything, and it wasn't very good outcome. But just till recent, I found out that my mom didn't really want to connect with me as a baby, just because if she was going to lose me, that was it. It was 2 years old that they usually lived. People with what I had lived till. So obviously, it was crazy. But when we went to the doctors, they said about they said no, everything's fine. She'll live just a normal life. Just can't do some certain things, and we'll do things differently. Which that's what has happened all my life. So it's pretty. There's obviously highs and lows and obstacles, but it's all good. It all comes out in the
end. Can I ask you how it was growing up? Because I don't know if you have like bone pains, or if I don't know what let's say the side effects of it.
Yeah. So metatropic in Greek means always changing. So
yes, I'm Greek, so I know that.
Yeah. So you know it. So it's always changing. So it could go either way, and if you fix one thing, you might not be able. It just will change. So, which is annoying. But growing up, I had surgery, so legs surgeries, mainly on my legs, because I didn't have any back problems or anything, so it wasn't a big deal. But when you have surgeries and you're in school, it pushes you back. So I was in the special education system, which was hard because you have the sister who's succeeding and everything else, and you watch that, and then you sit there and think, like, but then again, I didn't really care, because I hated school, and to think that I'm a teacher is crazy.
I know, that's the other thing I want to ask you, but we will get there. Yeah,
I hated school, so it's like, but the people around me made it. Like, I made friends, and that's the problem. I'm too social, and I hate it. Like, I would talk to anybody. Like, if you're sitting next to me, I'm talking to you. It didn't matter. So, um, I was one of those ones that, you moved around and it didn't matter. You're still gonna hear me talk about something. But yeah, so that was hard. And then I was like, you know, whatever. It's all good. Then sixth grade, I said, I'm done with being pulled out in special ed. So I got out of that, and just so happened that I got put into my sister's class, and I was like, this could be good or bad.
Yes, it can go both ways.
Yeah, well, it didn't go, like, it was good, fine for me. Like, I didn't really, but I would get like every spelling test wrong on the pre-test, and she would get none, so she didn't have to write all those spelling words like 3 times. So I was like, whatever, like, it didn't matter. And that teacher actually said to me, I don't think you're gonna make it, like, make the cut. So, when you're 12, you're sitting there thinking, like, not that, looking back on it, not that I really cared, but, well, I cared because I came home and said something, but it's like, as a teacher, I would never say that to a kid. Like, putting myself back into their shoes now, the kid's shoes, I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
But then, moving on to middle school, I had a big surgery this summer in the middle school, so that was rough. But and I transitioned to a new school district. They didn't know me. They didn't know anything. It was just so hard because, you're already behind and you're trying to figure out, like, only had like half a year in the regular ed, and they're still saying you need special ed, but they're saying you don't, and then what is it? So I was in general ed, which was fine. And then high school came, and like surgery stopped after like middle school. So that was a good breather for me. And then I wanted to take college prep courses. That's kind of like the general ed for us, like, and but you could be in just not in college prep. But if you want to go back to college prep, you have to retake the course. I kid you not, they put me in regular, so then I had to go back and take it. But I took it with the freshmen who were in there from the next year, and I was like, but I know you all, and
Yeah.
So my senior year of high school, I just really wanted out. Like, I didn't care. I checked out in October, and I had to go to June. So I was sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it somehow. But I said to my mom in the summer, because we were selecting courses and stuff like that, I said, I really just want to take like pottery, study hall, something where I don't have to do anything. Maybe I could leave early. I don't know. And she was like, no. I was like, oh. So
well, that's that. Yeah.
I was like, well, my plan's not going. So I took marine biology, which actually turned out really cool. And then chemistry, because I had to take it anyway. And then, but it was just crazy. But somehow, I don't know how, I always came out fine. So, but it was challenging growing up. In elementary school, I used a bike to get around, which was great because it helped me. And then in middle school and high school, I used a scooter, which I use now, like, to get around. So, but the problem about high school, leaving early or going in late, I didn't have a car then. So that was hard to convince somebody I wanted to leave early.
No, I get. But so now, in the present, have you finished with all the surgeries?
What have I?
Have you finished? Because you said growing up and being in school, you had to go
Oh
through
yeah,
this.
no. So starting college, I was doing driving lessons and I noticed my hip was bothering me, so I
Mhm.
didn't think much of it. So they went in and they put 2 shots in there. And I think they kind of knew, but I'd rather if they would have told me right away.
Mm.
But they said, it's bone on bone. Your hip's shot. So that meant a hip replacement. So I
Oh.
would do college for the whole year. Then the summer it would be surgery. So then college for a whole year, and then summer for surgery. So um, that went on. It's still going on right now, like all the time. It's just something which is fine because I handle it the best way I can handle it, and it's fine. But at the same time, you just wish you had a break.
Yes, I can understand that. Like, I mean, I haven't been through something similar, not even like
Yeah,
going through surgery once,
yeah,
but only thinking about, being in your position. I understand what you're saying, that, you do need a break
yeah,
in such situations. But
yeah.
I love your positivity. I love the way you see things.
I mean, I got into an argument with a doctor the other day, and I was like, she's like, "Yeah, I think you just need to take the year off and give your body a rest." I said, "Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen because that one looked really good on a resume. Like I don't think if they say to you, well, where have you been for the last year? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, just sitting on the couch, like." And I said, I know I max myself out, but at the same time, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, Another thing that is a force, like you see how your sister is getting the dream job and, you know, succeeding and doing everything else, but you're getting judged when you're going on interviews and stuff like that just by the looks, and you're trying to land these jobs, but you can work as much as you can and show how hard you work, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the looks.
Yes, that's true. We do live in a world, unfortunately, which is
Yeah.
like that. And that's what I was saying actually yesterday. I was like, it's probably the best job to be a plastic surgeon these days,
Yeah.
because everything, is about Instagram, how you look.
Oh,
Even if you
yeah.
don't look like that, you need to make yourself look like that. So, people like you. But at the end of the day, I think is how you feel inside. And that's the work that you need to put in. Like, instead of paying for like plastic surgeon, pay for a therapist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fix the inside, because if you're okay with yourself, like, no, I feel people will judge you no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have, because if you have the perfect life, let's say,
Yeah.
and someone will find something
Oh, yeah.
that, yeah. So I think it's there's no way of winning
No.
nowadays.
No. Yeah.
So you just do you, and yes,
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
that positivity up.
That's what I said. I said, I know I push myself, but I push myself because I want to get where I want to get. You can't tell me no. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I'm sorry I'm taking a summer course. I'm sorry I'm trying to get a job. I'm sorry for all this. But and she was like, well, your body. Well, I said, yeah, well, I know my body, but I don't care. And then it kind of was like, well, we all have choices. Yeah, I have a choice and I'm choosing to do this. So back off.
That's good. That's good. I
Yeah,
wanted to ask you, because you mentioned now about jobs, and
yeah.
that part is. Do you feel you've been turned down from positions because of it?
Yes, I do. There's a lot of discrimination. You can tell. Um, if you're in an interview for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you didn't get a job.
Mm.
Uh, but I can't say that because at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know what they are thinking or looking, but
Yeah.
I do feel that it has a huge aspect on it because I am a risk to them, and it's hard because they don't know me and they've never really seen what I can do.
Mm.
Hmm.
I understand that because that's the thing, that people would judge without knowing, and that goes
Yes,
for everything. Like as we said, even if it's something like, you're perfect on the outside, and people won't give opportunities to. I had this, like when I moved to the UK from Greece, and I especially in Greece because I've been through. I think I could write a book with the interviews I've been on,
yes,
and from things, it's what you're saying, that you usually can understand why the other person is judging you and they
yes,
don't want you in this position. And I know that I've been turned down from jobs that I would be perfect because I'm so passionate about, like, if I go for a job, I won't just go for a job that I'm like, okay, I just need to make rent and stuff. I
yes,
will go for jobs that actually like make me so
yeah,
excited. So I know that even if I don't know things, I am willing to learn, and because I'm so passionate, I know I can do it well. And it's annoying because someone won't give you that opportunity because they're like, you can't do that. Like,
yeah,
people are like, they judge you before even knowing, and
yeah.
that's so bad. I
It is
hate
so
that.
bad. And working with kids, I love connecting with them, and it's just crazy because you'll see if you're in where I work, I won't be paying attention, and a kid will scream "Miss G" down the hallway and run, and like their teacher is just looking at me. I'm like, sorry, I get the love.
That's good. If your students love
Yeah,
you, that
yeah,
means something. And I feel when you actually love what you do,
yeah,
people, not only like people, no matter what age they are.
yeah,
I feel, because I get the thing of not liking school.
yeah,
Uh, it's because I never actually had teachers that believed in me. So, and also I didn't know what I want to do with my life, so
yeah,
that didn't help much.
yeah,
But yeah, because when you don't know what you want, usually you won't study also because you don't have a goal for it.
yeah,
But that's the thing, that usually teachers, I mean, the ones I had, the moment you're not studying, you're not reading, they won't try to find ways, to get you to do it. Not get you to do
exactly.
it. Yeah, to have the love for it. They'll be
Yeah,
like, oh, she's the worst student, bring anger out,
yeah,
instead of trying a whole different route to it.
yes.
And I don't believe it's really about bad students.
It's not. Um, I'll be the first one to tell you. There's students that you have and that don't that come from hard situations at home. It's not that they're bad. It's what's going on in their home life. So if they fall asleep, I know what's going on. I'll let them sleep. I know what they need. It's not. It's fine. We can make it up sometime, but it's not a big deal. Like I'd rather them get it from where I can give it to them rather
Mhm.
than them being worried about.
Yes, giving them a safe space,
Yes,
let's say.
yes, it is. So it's I love that connection, and I love getting to know them and just getting on their level and saying, you know, I'm here no matter what, and that's really what I needed growing up with
Yeah.
teachers. But that's why I came back and joined the teaching profession to give back.
That's so nice, because
So,
that was one of my questions, because you said, and also I've seen it at another interview you did, because I did my research first and found you on YouTube
yes,
that you've
yes,
done
me too.
interviews, and I saw that you actually said that you didn't like school and then you became a teacher, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah. It's um, it's crazy. This is crazy. I was in college, and I, again not the good student, so I didn't get a good SAT. So we're not. I'm not gonna go to some college. So I was like, yeah, I'll just sit home and do nothing because now I know.
Mm.
Uh, no, I got driven to the community college, and I was like, what are we here for? And my mom's like, well, look at your new school. I'm like, I don't think so. And she's like, yeah, we're taking the entrance exam today. I'm like, oh. So it was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me, just
Mhm.
because I didn't know what I was going to do with my life at 18. Like, I didn't know. And it was my first time that I didn't have anybody with me, like an aide that was with me, like, all the time. And I needed that. Like, I needed to be myself and to be around other people and just to be me and to become me. And it was like the second year was in school. And they were like, well, do you know what you want to be? And I said, well, I had social worker, computer programmer, or teacher. And that's like so crazy, like how broad they are. And
Yes,
they
because it's
it's so different. It's so different. So the lady was like, well, you're gonna love the intro to computer programming.
mm.
It's so much fun. No, it's not. I was at the tutor every Saturday from 9 to 12. The tutor was the teacher's son. So at the end, he finally said, "Here's the answers." So I mean, that was a mess. So there we go. Computer programs off the table. Um, Social worker, I was getting too much involved. Like I couldn't. So
Mm.
my mom sat me down and said, "Do you see yourself?" I said, "No." She's like, "Every plan has, you have a plan and it has to go according to plan. And if it doesn't go to plan, you freak out. So you're a teacher." And I took teaching courses, and that was it. I was a teacher. But I was a teacher for a while. I told myself I was a teacher, but I just didn't. I don't know if I want to accept it or not, but I was a teacher. And it was great, and I love it. And I'm hoping to get a permanent job somewhere, and that's where I'm at.
Well, the good thing is that from what you're saying and what I've seen from your other interviews, that you're actually a good teacher, like you're actually putting the effort with the students
Yes,
instead of just doing your job just to, like I will go in the morning, get my paycheck,
yes,
and that's it.
yeah,
And yeah, and I think that's what makes the difference in teaching.
yeah, it is. And I'll be the first one to tell you it's not a test or anything. It's the relationship you can form with them and get on their level and make sure they're doing well, and then you move on from there.
Mm. I saw someone ask, I think Samuel, he wrote at the beginning, he, well, give me a minute. Yes, what do you teach as a teacher, Meg?
I teach kindergarten usually, but I did do pre-K, and that was intense. Preschool's intense.
Katerina says you are so sweet. I wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
And I wanted to ask you about the teaching bit again, something,
Yeah,
because children a lot of the times they don't do it. They don't have any filter when they
yeah, no, they
speak.
don't. Yeah, they don't. No, no, they don't.
Um, like, how do you handle that? Like, because a lot of the times, like, they might say something,
Yeah,
and like, how can you handle that situation? Because I don't even know how to handle it. Like thinking about it, because I've
yeah,
been around kids, and they will like that. They will
they're
spot things. Like
yeah,
if you have a zit or something, they will say to you like, "Oh my God,
yeah.
you have like a."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, I'll do a lesson that, well, don't meet me, and then so it was kind of funny because this year, half of us, we were half online and half in class, and
Oh yeah,
the
right.
kids, yeah, the kids came in and they were like, "Oh, oh, I didn't know that's." I said, "Who do you think?" I looked at them and they were like, "Who do you think?" I said, "Who do you think was on the computer?" It was still me. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And they laughed, and then they were like, "Well, you know, my mom told me you were small, but I told them no." And I said, "Ugh." well, I am. I said, so your mom was right. And they were like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I said, no, it doesn't, does it? And so we usually, and we usually go through, you know, the questions about being small. And so, uh, I used an analogy a couple weeks ago with kindergartners. They asked me why I was small, and I said, well, what kind of pizza do you like? Like to one of them, and then they were like pepperoni. I said, okay. So then I went to one of their friends and I said, what kind of pizza do you like? And they said cheese. And I said, okay. I said, well, here you go. I said, you like pepperoni, but he likes cheese. So we're all different and we all don't like the same thing. So it's like the same thing. If we were all, I said, I usually say, like, could we have so many of yous in the world? I don't think so. I said, wouldn't that be boring if there were only you? And they were like, oh, no. They were like, we can't do. I said, yeah, exactly. You can't have all you. So we're all different. And and then I'll just explain. We do a lesson that has a book and it talks about different people. It will talk about how we're all different. So, but
yeah, I think I saw that book on one of the interviews you've done that you were talking about it. I don't know if it's the same book. Because I wanted to ask you about that. Is it, I don't know if, because I don't know how it is in school in the US. I mean, we don't have it in Greece. I mean, I'm guessing maybe things change, but in general, because the world is changing to better.
Yes.
In some ways, at least.
Yeah,
some ways better, some ways worse. But I feel the education is not like how it was when you were in school or how it was when I was in school. I feel there's more awareness and it's starting from a young age. So I mean, as you said, like when you first start, you give the analogy or something else as a story so they understand. But is there also a book that they do yearly to, for example, don't be a racist? You understand what I mean? Like, is there books like that that you use throughout the year?
Yes. So my district just started doing that kind of stuff. So to show the kids, even we're starting it in pre-K, like to show awareness and just to show where we are. Hang on one second.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
So we're starting different awareness and just all different types of things going on, and we're having representation like with pre-K. There'll be dolls with hearing aids, wheelchairs, different skin color, like that sort of thing, so they can see that. And as they get older, they'll read different books about different things and they'll do different activities. I did a video with the school counselor just a couple weeks ago about disability and how, like, they see me, but they know me. And it's just so cool to hear them stick up for me, like the other kids. So, like the other day, I was outside doing lunch duty, and that's one thing I don't like. I don't like going outside and doing lunch duty, but that's a pet peeve of mine. So, like, I'll be like, don't put me on lunch duty. But anyway, but it's so cool to see them and hear them, how they've accepted me for who I am. So one of the kids asked me something, and then another kid said, hey, why are you talking to that little kid? You shouldn't talk to her. And he said, hey, that's Miss G. You don't talk to Miss G like that. That's my teacher. She was my teacher last year, so don't talk about her. I was like, see? I was like, So, but the ones that I don't think I reach, I do reach. So it's nice to hear that.
That's amazing, because sometimes no matter how okay you're with yourself, and as we said, but sometimes you need that feedback, like I'm doing a good job, well done.
I was like, I don't think I taught him anything, but obviously I did, and I was like, "That's all." And I say this all the time. I don't care if they learn anything. All I care is that they pick up that they need accept people for who they are and not judge anybody by their appearance. And they're learning that at a young age, so that's my best
Yeah.
lesson ever.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's what they say, like that
Yes.
children are they soak up everything that you
Oh,
tell
they
them,
do.
and yeah, and even when you think that oh, it's not going through, like it does though,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that even the teachers that I remember after so many years is
Yeah.
the ones that actually I learned something for life
Yeah.
instead of being like, okay, 2 + 2 and
Yeah.
6 + 6. Instead of all that, which I've never, I mean, yes, okay, you use math in your
Yes.
life, okay. But in general, the things that I've learned, like I probably don't remember anything besides the
Yeah.
basic stuff. But the teachers that I had, which actually gave me like a life lesson or
Yeah.
something, I actually remember, like, I remember everything that they said, where I was, like which classroom, like I remember all
Yes.
that. And even though you, as you said, you might think that, oh, nothing went through, but it actually does.
It does. It makes a huge impact. Yeah.
Let me see the comments a bit because someone else wrote, "Hi Megan, greetings from New York City." Some you wrote, "Children don't judge so much." Yes, I think it's more of that they say their what they see and their opinion instead
Yes.
of
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not, yeah, it's not judged. Uh, Someone asked, "How's COVID situation in US?" Love from India. You're all over the place. Like,
Yeah. The COVID situation right now is we don't need masks right now. Masks got lifted if you're if you're vaccinated and stuff like that. So, but at school I still have to wear one. So I'm fine with that at work because I, God forbid I pass something on to them. I'm fully vaccinated, so I don't have to worry about it. But we're our mask mandate got lifted in New Jersey on Friday. So,
okay.
how about you guys?
I've done both of them also,
Yeah,
but we still have to wear masks, not in the streets, but if, for example, you go to the supermarket, you need to
yeah,
wear a mask. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not.
yeah,
And I also have to wear it at my workplace. So, but things are much better, like you can go out and stuff.
yes, yeah. That's what I'm happy about.
Yes, totally.
Yeah,
Especially now that the weather's getting better.
yeah.
Hi, Megan. You always give such great interviews. What is the secret to presenting a professional and fun interview? This is, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
That's
True.
true.
Yeah.
True. Okay. Um, I don't know. I try to make it fun and like just with the kids, I'll try to make it fun as much. Uh, just being myself and out there and going with everything. And it is, it's me. And I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm weird, and I like things, and I I love to laugh and have fun with them. So it's just, and I love to have fun, and that's the way I try to live life and
I,
positive.
yes, I think that's the best way because at the end
Yeah,
of the day, it's it's you, like you need to be okay with yourself because
yeah,
no matter how many people you have around you,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, if you're not happy with yourself, you might
yeah,
have the best friends and the best family, and as we said, the best life.
yeah.
But if you're not happy with yourself, nothing is gonna cover
No,
that part.
yeah.
Um, but yes, I think positivity plays a big role. I mean, we all have our ups and downs, but
Oh
you
yeah,
need to
totally.
see the positive things in life as much as you can.
Yeah, yeah,
What I wanted to ask you also, because I saw, and also when we spoke before the interview, about the car you got.
yes. Um, so obviously at 16, everybody wants to drive that. What's the age in the UK when?
I'm guessing because I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably 18, like
Okay,
90%. I'm giving it that it's 18
okay,
because in Greece it's the same.
okay. So, um, over here in the US, different states have different ages. So at 16, sometimes you could have your full driver's license, which is crazy.
I
If
know, I know.
they,
I don't want to think of me 16 with a car. Like,
so, so, um, obviously everybody wants to do that. I failed the test 3 times because
I failed 5 times.
I failed it. I failed it. The written test, and I'm like, whatever. Like, so of course my sister passed it on the first time, and I'm like, ah. So, uh, we, but and I'll say this: having a twin sister pushed me and gave me the motivation to stay. Like, it was competitive. It was competitive in our house. Like, even until she stopped going to college. Like, because we would fight over who had the best GPA, and not to toot my own horn, but I won. But anyway, going back to my car, so it was quite a hard thing, like to fight for, just because. So we met with a couple people, and they said wait until you're 18 so you could go through. It's called vocational rehab, and they help modify cars, so they'll help you with the price. And at the time, you're looking at these cars thinking, all right, I can afford a car, but you can't because it's $100,000, $120,000. Like, it's a house. Like,
Yes.
I can't afford that. Like, I'm broke. Like, I can't afford that. I'm a broke college student at the time. So the lesson started and everything moved on. But as I mentioned, my hip started to bother me, so I stopped driving lessons. That was right before I was going to take my test. All right, everything halted. That was that. So then I went on to a different university and finished my bachelor's. And driving was still, like, I still wanted to do it. It was like crazy long. The state wasn't helping everything. So finally, it got pushed through. I went to an intensive driving course in Pennsylvania, where I know where we were. We were up in the mountains somewhere, like driving around. So I did that. Then I get a call right before my test. And the guy was like, so we have a problem. We might not be able to use the van because it has a check engine light, and the van was like about to break. Literally, I was the last person to use it. So I was like,
Of
what?
course.
Of course, yeah. I was like, okay. So they got in touch with the people, and they said it's fine. It's fine. They're not gonna check it for a check engine light. So I was like, all right, that's good. We're on to something here.
Yeah.
So I took my test, and the guy got in, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, uh-oh. And he was like, all right. Like, I use hand controls, so it's all crazy. Like, so it's a board over here that controls, I hit buttons, and then the hand controls are up front. And all he was like, okay, go. So then I was going through the course, and he was like, all right, we're going to do parallel parking. So I'm doing this without, and I already had my checkpoints and everything else, and everything. I was all ready to go. And then he was like, okay, K turn. And my mom's with the driving instructor watching this as this is all going on. And he was like, oh no, I wish she would have done it differently. And he was like, but she's fine. So, all right. We get all done the course, and he's like, this is my first day. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, you got me on the first day. This is scary. So he said, okay, park put the car in park.
Mm.
And I was like, oh. He was like, how do you think you did? I said, I don't know, sir. I'm sweating like crazy. And he was like, okay. He's like, you passed. I was like, oh my God. I don't know if he or I were happier to get out of the car, but once we were like, I was like, oh, thank God that he got out and I got out, and I'm like, I'm done. So it was, it was a lot, but it was all worth it. It was 11 years working on that, but it was worth it.
But so the car that you have now, that
Yeah.
you're using, I think you mentioned it now that about the government, because that's a question I want to ask you, is
Yeah.
how does the government help you? Because obviously I have no idea about the US. I don't know
Yeah.
how government helps people.
So it varies. Each state helps you differently. So on the funds, they'll tell you how much they'll help you, and you have to apply for different things. And so I got lucky, and the state just I just had to buy the car, and they help with all the modifications, which is really the priciest part of the car. Now, I wanted an SUV, or I'll have to link an article I wrote for the company. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. Or an Escalade. I wanted an Escalade so bad. I don't know why, but it's so big, but it's just so cool. But anyway.
Well, you know what you want and what you like,
Yeah.
and that's what matters.
Yeah. So, but a minivan is what I have, and I love my minivan because it's mine. I can go anywhere. But different states help in different ways, and the government now that disabled people are more and more like, this is an upcoming group of people. I feel like we need to do better than what we're doing in helping wise, because there's things that they should be stepping up and helping with that nobody knows about these programs either, unless you get told by the word of mouth. So I think that they need to start going in the schools, and talking to students. I wouldn't know if nobody told me about it, but that's the thing. We're not I mean, I don't say advertise it, but
Yeah, no, I
think
understand what you mean.
we need to learn more about, like, it's an up and coming thing.
Yeah, and I feel that people use, not everyone, okay,
No.
but a lot of people, it's like, it's not my problem, so why
Yeah.
should I worry about it?
Yeah. And it's kind of how the state workers are. Like, that's not my problem. You should have known about it. Well, no, I don't know about it. I mean, I'm a teacher. I don't know everything.
Yeah, and of course, like, it's not only, it could be like for anything. I mean, the first interview I had was with a guy that he had an accident with his motorbike and he lost his leg, and
Yeah.
I learned so many things out of that. I mean, yes, which is something, let's say, I mean, he wasn't born with it,
No.
but I learned so many things from that interview. But that's because I want to learn. I mean, obviously, the reason I am doing all this with Face the Elephant is because, I mean, yes, I want to learn, but I want to spread that awareness to people, because people don't know about things. Even because I work with adults with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that I didn't know how the government helps here. But you can't have these people. I will give you, for example, with Greece, because if, for example, someone in Greece has Down syndrome, it's usually someone that will be, if they're lucky and they have good relations with their family, relationships, they will end up growing up with their family and then maybe passed on to someone else. It's highly unlikely that someone will actually, you won't see someone with Down syndrome, for example, working in a cafe or something like that. when in the UK, when I moved here, I saw people everywhere in the supermarket working, obviously because I work with them also, but it's, we need that awareness
Yeah,
in all the topics. Uh,
exactly.
and it's not about, because it's the same thing I speak, yes, because you have someone which is born
Yeah,
with, like we're talking about, like Down syndrome, but then you have something which is like JD, which I had the interview I
yes,
mentioned, which he just happened to have an accident with his motorbike. And
right.
it's not until, oh, it's not my problem, until, for example, I give birth to a child with Down syndrome. It's not until I have a car accident, knock on wood,
Yeah,
and I'm paralyzed, or it doesn't work like that. You need to
no,
have that awareness
no,
beforehand,
yeah.
because why should someone, let's say, keep them in the dark?
Oh, yeah, and totally. We keep so many people in the dark. Like, I, I don't under like you were saying. It's not my problem until it happens to you. Like, um, you, yeah, like you're saying, and here in the U.S., Down syndrome people, they work. Like,
Mm.
they get married. They have lives. Like, it's amazing to see, and that's what I don't understand why we don't want that for everyone and let it everybody have awareness and
Mm.
see. Like, I have a cousin who's in the army. Like, if God forbid something happened to him, like, it's not that happened. He didn't want that to happen. He fought for our country. There's so many vets that are disabled. There's so many. There,
Mm.
it's just not brought up, and we all keep everything in the dark. Well, we always say equal opportunities. Well, that's not true. There's not
Yes,
equal.
I don't believe that,
No, I don't believe
unfortunately.
that at all.
Yes.
So it's
But yeah, let's hope. I think I know that we are going. Yeah, we are. It's what I mentioned. We are going. There is more awareness on
yeah,
topics, on anything. I feel, especially now through Instagram, because yes, you have the Instagram, which is what I ate today.
yeah,
Like you have that
yeah,
that side, but then you have the other side, which is the awareness part.
yeah,
So I feel a lot of stories are coming up, and I feel people are handling things different, because I had an interview with Beauty Mark community,
uh-huh,
and what she was mentioning is that when she grew up, she had a teacher. You might get angry now because you're a teacher.
yeah,
Because she has a limb difference.
yeah,
So she grew up, and she grew up. She was in, I don't remember which grade, and there was another kid that had birthday. So they had a birthday cake. She wanted to have a slice, so she kept asking the teacher, like, I want a slice of cake, I want a slice
yeah,
of cake. So she kept like ignoring her and stuff. And then she asked like a final time, and the teacher turned around and said to her, "You're not allowed cake because people with disabilities are not allowed cake." And she
that's
put her in detention. And that's crazy to think that
it.
something like that actually happened in this
Yeah,
world. And I don't feel, which it causes me, I'm not a teacher,
it,
but only from the human side, it
yeah,
causes me so much anger that she went through a situation like that.
mm,
And I feel that if something like that happened today, in the time and age we are now, I
yes,
feel it probably wouldn't happen. But the thing is, I don't know if it wouldn't happen, because probably the child would go back to
yeah,
home and say, like, this happened, this and that. But you can scar a kid so bad by that.
yeah,
And but I feel that wouldn't happen in nowadays, because probably that teacher will get fired. So I don't
oh
know
yeah,
if it's also the fear side of the situation, because you always get those people that discriminate, that they are racist no matter what.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, if it's fear or like, you get the
yeah,
good people, but then you get the people that are also scared that they're gonna get fired, that you're gonna sue them, you get all that. But
oh
at the
yeah,
end of the day, the point is that, it doesn't matter for what. The point is for them to not do that.
yeah, exactly. It's just it's awful, and unfortunately, still things like that go on,
Mm.
and it breaks my heart, because I see it at work sometimes, and then I feel like I'm there picking up the pieces, but then at the same time, it happens to me, and then I look and I'm like, is anybody seeing this, or is it just me? So I hope, after teaching for a couple years, I put my master's on hold because of just surgeries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get my master's and then hopefully work in like education, but bringing awareness into disabilities. Like, for example, this is way off topic. Maybe not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. This is your life. Okay?
So last year before COVID, it was like January, I want to say. There's a class that was in. So I was teaching kindergarten, and it was in. They were linked with me, my class, and I said to the teacher, I said, well, we're learning the same study. Why don't you just come over and we'll work together on a project?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and she said, no one's ever invited our class because the kids have disabilities, but nobody's invited our class to work like this. And I looked at her and I was like, well, why? And she's like, no, they're never included. And I said, well, we're going to make this a Friday thing, so get used to me because we're going to be working together. And the principal was like, oh, I love how you're doing this. And I said, yeah, because they shouldn't be left in the dark. Like,
Yes.
me as a disabled person realizes that, but a person as a person should realize that. But then again, it's I don't know. Like, I know what it's like, and at the same time, I don't want to be left out.
No, I understand, but I just feel some things are common sense.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't grow up. When I was growing up, I didn't have anyone in the family that, for example, was born with a disability, or I rather call it beauty mark. Like, I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anyone with a beauty mark, and I didn't have someone that, for example, as I mentioned, had a car accident or any kind of an accident.
Yeah.
But it, like,
yeah,
it's common sense. Like, it's not like you have to have someone in your family or your environment. I didn't even have anyone in my environment. It's just being common sense. Like, and saying that we're all equal, but then at the end of the day, we are not.
We're not.
What's the point of saying it? Just to say it so you feel okay. I try to actually do those changes.
I do believe we say that just to say that. So, like, we're not. Everybody says we're an inclusive world when we're not. We're not inclusive. I can't do some things on my own, but you said it's all inclusive, so why can't I do it?
Yeah, and then it will make you feel bad also in the same way.
It's like, no, let's rewind and figure this out. But I want to be like an advocate for people with disabilities and work on that and just go from there. That's my dream. And I hope to do that. I mean, it's kind of, I feel like I don't put much into my Instagram on here, but I feel like this summer I'll be able to put more. But like the picture of me that I looked awful.
I love that.
That's why mom was like, you put that out there. I was like, yeah, because it's the truth. This is not like, it's not always a smile. Like, it's not. Life's hard. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I go through ruts. And like, lately with jobs and stuff like that, I've been in a rut, like, because I feel like, I don't know, nobody wants me. And so that's what it is. And everybody says, oh, it's not that. Well, yeah, it is. Like, you can't tell me it's not. So like, but then again, when I get into that rut, I look outside and I see my car, and I'm happy. But it's just that I want this job and I want to work with kids, and that's me, and that's my who I want to be, and I want to be a teacher, and I know my body's not going to give me that forever, and I know a lot, but you can't fight what you want.
Yes, I agree with that. And especially since you're passionate about it. And it's what you said, that it only takes one small thing to see that you're doing, that small feedback of another one
Yeah,
of your students, having your
yeah,
back, let's say.
yeah,
But we do have our downs, and you have your
yeah,
ups and your downs. But you need to have a positive way of life, because
yeah.
you
Can't
can be
stay
like,
there.
yeah, you can be like, okay, life has treated me awful, and I'm not gonna do anything about it. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna,
sit on the couch.
yeah, sit on the couch, and that's my
Yeah,
life. No, you can't see
yeah,
that.
no,
And also, is what you said, that someone might be like, oh, it's not like that, or it's fine. Like you said, like, for example, you might get turned down
yeah,
by a job, and someone will say to you, no, it's not that. No, it is that, but that,
yeah,
let me be down. Let me
yeah,
go through the dark experience, let's say.
yeah,
And it's not bad, because life is not going to give you things like, here you go. There
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
here
not
you
like
go.
that. Yes, as I told you, I've been through so many interviews, and I know I've been turned down. And I know
Yeah,
the reasons usually. But you don't have to say, I don't need to hear I mean, at least that's how I am. I don't need to hear oh, come on, no, you're perfect, you don't need to hear, like,
yeah, yeah,
no, like,
yeah.
I know
No,
what's true. Like, don't try
yeah,
to give me lies to make me feel better. And
yeah,
what you mentioned, the photo that you uploaded, like, and
yeah,
I loved it, because
yeah. That's,
Instagram is all about, you have all these filters now,
yeah,
making
I
your
know.
lips smaller,
Yeah,
changing
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
which I just laugh so much when I see them. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
no, just don't do
no,
that. So
no.
you uploading a raw photo of yourself,
Yeah,
and I love that. Like, you
yeah,
can, like, you up here now, you're like 100 levels.
yeah,
Yeah, because we need that in
yeah,
today's society of the fake and the perfect life on Instagram. And you might
it's
be
not.
crying, which is okay to cry, but
Yeah,
you need that raw, that, you know what, I feel crap, I woke up,
yeah,
my hair looks a mess, my eyebrows looks a mess, I
yeah,
woke up with two zits. I actually
yeah,
did wake up with two zits today.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
upload that. Why do you need
yeah,
to have like these all fake photos on?
yeah.
Yes, so I love
And
that you uploaded
yeah,
the
I
the,
needed to, like,
the raw.
and you know, doctors say, well, we don't have patients that have the motivation and drive and determination. Well, why are you punishing me then? Like, why are you saying stop doing what you want to do? I'm not. I'm not. And in all the mix of this, I got, like, okay, this is probably going to sound crazy, but I am not, um, in a good way, but
Yeah.
maybe not in a good way. But I do really do push myself to the max, and but it's all for the kids and it's all for everything that I want to achieve. And um, I got a summer job teaching with in the district that I work in right now, and it so happens I had to have surgery over the summer, and I didn't think I was gonna get the job. So I went back and forth. Should I apply? Should I not? Should I apply or shouldn't I? And I was like, you know what? I don't get anything ever any other time. Let me just apply. And they were like, oh, you got it. I was like, what? You didn't say, tell me what. So I will be working over the summer, and then I'll be having surgery, but then I'll be going back to work. But it's just my thing. Like, I need to do it because I don't. I know I don't ever give myself enough time to breathe, but that's my thing. But if I don't show people that I can do it, then I feel like I can't. I don't know. It's
I get what you mean.
yeah. It's
Trust
just like I don't know. Like yeah. And top it off, I'm taking a summer course. That it's just my thing.
Well, don't push yourself too much.
No, I don't push. So the good thing is the summer course will start on Tuesday and be done by the end of June, which is good for me. But it's just I just have to do me and like
exactly.
and that's why uploading that picture and doing those things is what it is. It's life, and you get the unfortunately you get the pictures of surgery and stuff like that. I know I look like crap, but it is what it is.
Yes, I mean you can't go have a surgery and look
I
fabulous,
know.
which for me you still look fabulous even in that situation, because it's the true you. It's not like it's not all about makeup and looking great. And that's why I say, I think I told you also, because I must have told you, because I tell everyone when we speak beforehand, it's like you want to be with your pajamas on the live that we're going to be with your pajamas. Like you want to like have crazy hair, you know, just be you, because it's not all about, you know, let's have the perfect hair and makeup and let me send you 10 questions and learn them off by heart. It's not that. Like who cares? It's like when you said sorry, someone opened the door or something like that. It doesn't matter. Like who cares, you know? I mean, that's not the point of this life. The point of this life is like all these things that we talked about, and that we actually, I know that the life is gonna be there once we finish doing the life, that it's gonna be posted, it's gonna be there, it's gonna spread awareness. No matter if one person sees it throughout all the year, I know that, you know, it's actually doing it. Who cares if someone opened the door or if the phone fell down, or you know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I feel that that's what society needs to change, of the perfection, because we are not perfect.
No,
I don't think you can say, you know, something's perfect for a human person, let's say. You can say it, like, for example, for the Greece sea and views, yes, you can say that's perfect. But thank you so much for today. I don't know if there's anything else you would like to say before we go.
No, never give up and always pursue your dreams, and it will happen, trust me.
Yes.
Things happen.
Yes, I even needed to hear that.
Yeah, I know. I feel like everybody needs to hear that right now. It will happen. But thank you so much. I would love to do another interview with you.
Wow, you heard it. It's live, people. You heard it. It's saved. You can't change that.
Yeah, no.
Katerina said, thank you so much. I read someone else said that it was this is a wonderful interview. Thank you both. Yes, so thank you so much for doing this with me. It was amazing. I loved it.
I loved it myself.
And hope everything works out exactly like you want to work out, especially with the teaching part, because it's a passion. And I'm sure you are going to touch many people's hearts, especially the little children, the students you have, because you are doing something great, because you're changing people's lives without you even knowing, because it will stay with them later on. And I feel that's the best. Yes. And you said we're gonna have another interview, so hopefully soon we'll speak again. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
You too.
And long weekend.
Yes, long weekend to you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.